This time on Custom Works we'll be looking again at those rear fenders and seeing if we can make some actual rear fenders this week, not just a mock-up or a mould. We'll be looking at the grille on the WT F1. So that's it, that's what's going to be happening this week. Let's get to the workshop. Alright then, so you saw the rear fenders painted in that sort of dark red paint, and now we've waxed them, we've sprayed them in a PVA release agent, and now we've gone on with this white gel coat, which is sort of sticky but dry. It's time to put on some fibreglass. So we're going to go over these with a 300 weight coarse strand fibre, matting, and we're going to cover the whole thing, a couple of layers of that. We'll let that dry, and then we're going to go in with some bits of wood and stuff, and then some 400 weight fibreglass, and we're going to brace this up so that none of it flexes, when it becomes the mould, because we want the mould to be nice and rigid so we can make thousands of awesome trucks! Okay then, so it's all dry now. Finished fibreglassing it yesterday, left it overnight, and now it's time to brace the mould, because I don't want this wobbling around and not giving us an accurate shape. So let's brace the mould. So that's those on. I seem to be stuck here holding this until it actually dries, but it won't be long, so it's just body filler. As it is, that's not going to add a lot more strength, but what we're going to do is probably add a few more bits of timber, and then we'll fibreglass these to the actual mould, and that will give some real rigidity to the mould and stop any deflection when we're actually forming the rear fender. Alright, so that was a lot of work and a lot of effort over the past couple of weeks, but now it's smashed to a million pieces on the floor. But we have our mould, and look, this is like super clean and shiny. There's a few bits here, but I'm going to soak them with a hose when I remove the release agent. And we've got a little bit of damage there, but I'm sure we can Bondo that in, smooth it out, trim it up, and then we'll be ready to actually make a real fender, rather than making all these fenders that just get smashed into a million pieces to make the mould. That'll be so satisfying. Alright then, so here we are. This is the rear fender, and something of the moment of truth. We've laid up some fiberglass in it. This is still pretty hot actually. What we did to the mould before we did this is we've put 5 coats of wax to it. We've sprayed on a PVA release agent, and hopefully this is going to just pop out the mould, and then we will have a perfect rear fender for our WT F1 project. So here we go then, let's see if it'll come out the mould. I am absolutely over the moon with this. It's just come out so well. And now what we've got to do is do this over and over and over again, and then we'll have a full F1 pickup, all made of, I tell you what, it is so light. I know we've built this over the taxi chassis, and they're not the fastest car, but for the amount that we've taken off, the amount of weight we've taken off, and the amount of weight we're going to put on, it should definitely, they're going to be like 2 miles an hour faster, at least. Okay then, so I'm really happy with how those rear fenders are coming out. Now we've got to move on to the grille. Now the grille on an F1 is altogether a lot more complicated. If we look here, and this is the model we're trying to make, the F100, the 1950, which I think ran from 48 to 1950, with this grille shape. That's the one we're going for, the earliest one there is. So we've got quite a we've got the grille to make, we've got the recess to make all around that, and we've got to make the aperture for the headlights as well. You can always see, I do like this, you can see from 1948 to 50, all the way through to 1959, all the different grille styles, and that's a great way to date an F100. Alright, so we're looking at the front of the grille, well, or the aperture that holds the grille and the headlights. Now, obviously this won't be able to be moulded. When I'm moulding the fibreglass, because this is a return, I'm going to split it down the middle into two halves, and obviously this bit won't come off, so I need to make this bit separately. Now, I've sort of got the rough shape, but to be honest, if we just look into here, areas like this, yeah, this isn't very good, and I don't really want to be up under here sanding for days to get all inside here perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a fibreglass mould of this. So to do this, first off, my favourite thing, contact adhesive. I'm going to spray everything in here with contact adhesive. Then I'm going to cover everything with aluminium foil tape. We have lined all this in the silver tape, and now we're going to cover all of this in fibreglass, but you will notice there's something on here that's terrible. We've got a fibreglass upside down. Now, fibreglassing upside down is a nightmare. Really hard to get it to stick, but here's my top tip. So, if you cut your piece of fibreglass that you want, cut that out, and again, spray adhesive. So we spray adhesive under there, and we spray adhesive the fibreglass. Give it a second. What this will do, this will just hold the fibreglass in position. It's particularly good for doing the underside of things because, you know, it's not just all running down your arm and just a sticky mess. Everything that's silver I'm going to cover with the fibreglass mat, and then once it's all stuck on and in place, it's just a matter of painting with the resin. So we've covered everything in fibreglass matting and we're ready for some resin. Alright then, so this is like the insert from the front grille. Headlights go there, grille goes just there, and this bit sinks back in the body now. So this will be fitted from the back of the panel once it's done, headlights and grille mounted, and that's all in one. Now what I've done here is I took the mould of the front grille, that's this, and what I'm doing is on the outside I'm going to smooth all this out. I've put a lot of car filler on it, and what we'll do is sand this all the way around, get this all nice, prime it, flat it, paint it, and then if you can imagine from this way up, I'll take a mould off of this and then when I mould from the inside, everything on the inside will be super shiny and clean, so that can just drop straight into the front. Seems like seems like a long way round to do it, but this is I've just sort of decided this is the easiest way to do it. Okay, so we're going to try and take this out. This is the insert for the front grille. Well, first we're going to try and get it off the table. So I made the grill bar the other week out of timber, and then we painted it. But now we've covered that in fibreglass to make the mould. So let's see if I can actually get it out of that mould. So this is one of the grill bars. We need to cast a lot of these. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try and remove it from the off of the book, the mould off of the book. And yeah, we'll see what we've got. I think of everything though, this is going to be the hardest thing to get off. Oh man, I think this is, I'm going to put this down to another win. You know, two wins in one day today. That is above average. Yeah, that's great. Looks a bit rough at the minute, but once this is all trimmed up, and we'll backfill this so it's super rigid. But wow, look at that! This is gonna look. Oh God, it's gonna look so good. In a future episode, we'll be putting those all together to actually make the grille for the truck. Okay, then, so join us next week on Custom Works, where we'll be actually putting parts of the car together and assembling the WT-F100. In the meantime, don't forget, click subscribe, click the bell icon for regular updates. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and leave comments below as well. Okay, until next time, get out there and build something.